Welcome back to more Triangle Strategy. I am now officially free of my time clock medicine. I had to take that medicine twice a day, technically every 10 hours, until it was gone and it was 20 pills. So, roughly round about 2 a day. And I just officially took the last one today. So that is fun. I can officially say my sickness is over, but my legs are sore as hell. And I'll tell you why after the intro to what I think is chapter 17.
Deep in the Grand Norzelian mines lay a most unexpected discovery. Crystals of pure salt. Now in possession of knowledge that could alter the course of history in Norzelia, the members of House Wolford gather at Whiteholm Castle to discuss their next move.
Chapter 17, Part 1. If grief could persuade us? Is that what that said? I was so focused on confirming it was Chapter 17 that I didn't really get to look at the title.
Unexpected though it may be, the salt crystals are now ours. How shall we proceed?
Carefully, for it has the potential to alter the balance of power across Norzelia. This is an opportunity to reshape the realm to our benefit. We must be strategic.
It's a target on our backs is what it is. There'll be no peace for us so long as we hold them.
Hyzant will set upon us with a fury we've never known if they hear of this.
She's right. They will stop at nothing to defend their faith.
Nor will Esfrost go quietly into the night.
Then let us prepare for when word does spread, rather than fret over how long we can keep the secret. Whether we protect the salt as ours, or find another way to use it, we must act soon.
What say you, Your Majesty?
We find ourselves at a crossroads. Not just as a kingdom, but an entire realm. Our decision will touch every life in Norzelia. I too wish to act quickly. But I beg you all for a moment alone with my thoughts.
Your caution is admirable, but ill-advised. Hesitation could cost us everything.
That much is obvious. Yet I cannot race headlong into the unknown when so much depends upon us.
Benedict, I find myself unmoored as well. I wish to hear from all present before we decide upon a course of action.
As you wish. Pray let it be swift.
Serenoa, answer me this. Can I count on you to walk the path with me? Whatever it may be.
I was named Lord of House Wolford long before I was inducted into the Saintly Seven. And I've been your friend even longer still.
Say no more. Take the others to Castle Wolford and await my word. Likewise, inform me of any movements from Hyzant.
As you wish. Until we meet again.
Okay, the changing of time spares no one, and Gustadolf gathers his troops at Twinsgate and rallies them by revealing that the Grand Norzelian mines and salt crystals have been taken from Acefrost. So both of those are main story. And even you are a main story. Word of the salt crystals within the Grand Norzelian mines reach the Hierophant's palace. Ooh. All that talk about keeping it a secret, and there is nary a secret to be had. And our crew's looking mighty fine. 26 and 27, thanks to the repeat we had to do within the Grand Mines. Leaving Archibald out, unfortunately, and Corentin for our newly acquired Dawn Spear, and keeping Milo in because she's actually really useful. I actually really like Milo. More than I figured I would. Alright, so let's go see what's going on over here in the Hierophant's Palace first.
Ah, Milo has sent a dispatch from Glenbrook. Deep within the Grand Rosalian mines lies... It would seem salt crystals were found within.
Impossible!
The discovery of salt outside the source explains Gustadolf's recent provocations.
How can you be so calm? The teachings tell us that salt is a blessing, bestowed only upon the goddess's followers. The discovery of these salt crystals is an existential threat to Hyzant.
Salt crystals are salt too. We need only keep word of this discovery from spreading.
Of course. But how?
The Hierophant has spoken. Minister Exham, you shall raise an army and seize the Grand Rosalian mines in Hyzant's name.
The Hierophant asks us to invade Glenbrook?
Do you have another way to silence King Roland and his royal hounds in House Wolfort?
Minister Serenoa is one of us, and thus is honor-bound to heed the Hierophant's word. But we know not if he will do so, or if he will cast his lot with his precious king. You shall ask him yourself when you surround Castle Wolfort en route to the mine.
And if he resists?
You are free to deal with him, as we do with all who forsake the goddess.
They're a little brazen, aren't they? Thinking that he would just join their side because he was a Saintly Seven, when, to be honest, he never ever wanted to become a Saintly Seven. It was just kind of thrust upon him without, like, his actual main consent. He just kind of went along with it. It's like, I don't know. I was just trying to think of a freaking analogy there, but I just couldn't do it. Alright, let's see what's going down in Central Acefrost. The changing of the time spares no one, not even the Norzelia Consortium.
Have you heard the popular rumor, Lord Claris?
That Hyzant intends to raise an army against Glenbrook? Yes, I am.
There really are no secrets, are there?
So it's reached the consortium then. Is it true?
King Roland has only just reclaimed the Crown City with Hyzant's help, not to mention restored relations with them. Ordinarily, such a thing would be unthinkable, but the rumors are so persistent that I think something may be afoot.
For example?
I wouldn't be so restless if I had an example to give.
Esfrost gathers its troops at Twinsgate. Might they have heard the rumors as well?
Perhaps. A battle for the very soul of Norzelia may loom on the horizon. But therein lies the opportunity for merchants like us. You can't wage war without a surfeit of supplies.
You're quite right about that.
And each shift in Norzelia's power balance opens new business opportunities.
Will the consortium continue trading with Hyzant?
'Tis difficult to say. I believe House Wolfort's actions from here on will be key to the consortium's decision.
House Wolfort, you say?
Indeed. They've been involved in most every conflict between the three nations on this continent. Why stop now?
That is pretty
I
true.
shall wait and see how Lord Serenoa responds first, lest I make any hasty decisions.
We've been like the most active party throughout this entire war. before we watch this, because I don't know what's gonna happen after this one, if it's just like gonna take me back to the map. I want to see if it's a new chapter. I want to see if he's restocked anything. Panacea. Panacea is expensive as hell. 4,000? He has. Just buy all the superior. This is hurting my pockets, but we gotta do it. I don't necessarily care about any of the others off the top of my head. I mean, cause that'd be $4 grand, so it's about $7 grand per couple. So that'd be 28. That'd leave me with almost no money. Let's talk to Yins and see who I can upgrade. I know I can't upgrade you because I need like 30 superior iron in order to do anything with you guys. I've already done her, so that's good. Ooh, but that costs iron, and I don't know if I want to do it with the iron, but she's so useful. I'm not doing you because you cost iron, and I don't really care for King's Shield. Become invisible and invincible. I mean, it's still good, but like the stone, I have no qualms about. I have no issue using stone. Corinton fiber. So was Milo's. You were the other one that needed 3. You need 1 more of each. Jeez. Talking about somebody, and you need 1 more of each. Superior timber and stone. Not good. Nobody cares about you. Or any of you. Like, I'd be tempted to just like upgrade that, but eh. Okay, so it looks like our best bets is to get both of these two, right? Because they both cost fiber. We already have hers. We could theoretically do his and Anne's as well. You know, more the better. Azana's needs another timber and a stone. Which is good, because, I mean, I'd be down to 2 stone. And I don't think I'd use any timber. Because I don't think anybody uses timber. Because this is iron, hers is fiber, his is fiber. And I believe they're the only 2 that use fiber for their special. His is iron and stone. Hers is iron and stone. Deals 10? That's actually tempting because she's not strong. We already got yours. We've already got yours. You, and Don Spear are all locked and screwed. He uses fiber. Okay, so his is the fiber. But I'm not using timber anywhere. So it'd still be closer to getting hers over Archibald's. So without... $10? My goodness. Let's get both of those. I don't necessarily wanna, but I will. Let me guess, now that's upgraded. Oh, so that's why hers is 5/5. Because I did the magic up before that. Okay, it makes sense now. Yeah, I'm not doing his. I'd only do Azana's, but Azana's I'm pretty much done with. Because I have no... I don't want to do that. That makes sense. This is quality, so we could do Icy Breath or Frosty Feathers. I'm gonna do Frosty Feathers. Same thing, the follow-up damage attack. Increases damage dealt by follow-up attacks. And increases physical damage dealt. You always gotta go with that, don't you? And Gila's... was I can make her faster. Or increases evasion, sure. Whatever. Okay. What does that put me at? 26? So now I technically can't buy, and that's just quality. These still only give off just quality and not superior, which sucks. I think that's good for now. Let's look at you. Trades post. I can get battle cry and that's it. Oh, technically Medal of Braveries as well. And Eternal Resin. I still can't remember who that like upgrades. Hidden Reserves. Revitalize. I think I'll save for Revitalize if we ever get there. And I cannot because I don't have a Metal Veiler. All right. I think that's good. You can leave the encampment now. Alright, let's see him gather his troops at Twin's Gate as they prepare to come to Norzelian Mines as well. It's going to be a triple threat, I guess. That's actually a scary thought.
I am gladdened to see each and every one of you, my ironclad brothers in arms, here at Twin's Gate. I have asked you here to tell you of a most fortuitous discovery. We have found crystals of salt deep in the Grand Norzelian Mines. Alas, Glenbrook has taken those very mines from us. What's worse, Glenbrook's esteemed House Wolfort is led by one of the Saintly Seven of Hyzant. They will no doubt be informed of the salt crystals, and their precious religion will be shaken to its core. I trust you can all imagine how Hyzant will respond to such an affront. They will not go quietly, but will instead seek the crystals for themselves, that their reign of terror may continue unimpeded. Therefore, We must subdue Glenbrook and seize the mines for Esfrost if we are to counter this grave threat. But we cannot stop there, for that will only draw Hyzant to our gates. They will stop at nothing to conquer all of Norzelia in their name. The Duchy has never been in a more precarious position. But we will not yield. We subscribe to no faith, and we bend the knee for no king. We shall greet our enemies at Twinsgate with cold, hard steel. Our newest weapon, the Death's Knell, is nearly complete. With it, we shall strike back at Hyzant. The false goddess shall crumble beneath the sheer force of our iron will, and Hyzant reduced to rubble along with her. Raise your swords, my black iron heroes. Your names shall be cast in iron when the histories of this day are written. You shall be known as the defenders of Esfrost! For Esfrost!
Oh yes. The Death's Knell will reduce many a falsehood to rubble, dear Gustadolf.
Hyzant has learned of the salt crystals. Minister Exham of the Saintly Seven wastes no time in mustering his army, which now marches on the Grand Norzelian mines. Elsewhere, Gustadolf amasses his own forces at Twinsgate in anticipation of the war to come. All eyes are on Glenbrook, where Roland and Serenoa's pronouncement could touch off a battle for the soul of Norzelia. After much deliberation, Roland makes his way to Castle Wolffort to inform Serenoa of the decision that now weighs heavy on his heart.
Okay, so we're still not in a fight yet, as both Aesfrost and Hyzant prepare for war. Roland visits Wolffort and tells Serenoa of his decision. What will the young king choose to do? Before we tell him we're going to bring out the scales and his decision
all this
doesn't
way,
matter.
Roland.
I was the one who asked for your time, so it is only natural I make the journey. I wish to tell you that I finally made up my mind.
And I would hear your decision if you were willing to share it with me.
I've long pondered over the one thing that Norzelia needs most. I thought back on the Salt Iron War. 30 years have passed, yet the root of our conflict remains the same. Each nation still thinks only of itself, wishing to fill its coffers even at the expense of others. But who bears the brunt of such a war?
The people.
Exactly so. The avarice of the ruler is an existential threat to their loyal subjects.
And without that wealth, the people suffer just as much. They languish in poverty.
This much is obvious. But there can be no winner without a loser. Remove one, and you necessarily remove the other. If we achieve equality, we achieve peace.
And how do you propose we achieve? No. No, surely you don't mean...
Yes. The goddess's teachings. All can live as equals under the goddess. An authority greater than any king. The model nation was in front of us all along, Serenoa. the holy state of Hyzant. I have decided that we must give the salt crystals in the Grand Norzelian mines to Hyzant.
And in so doing, you'll give them control of all Norzelia.
Exactly. There will be no more squabbling over salt. Norzelia will know eternal peace at last.
Unequal peace, surely. One built on the backs of a people like the Roselle, if not the Roselle themselves.
I am not blind to that fact. But so few will suffer for the good of so many. Nothing in this world is perfect, Serenoa. The sacrifice of the few for the good of the many. It's the only clear answer, and one I would give every time I were asked.
Submitting to the goddess will rob you of your kingship.
So be it. My crown, my pride. They're but small prices to pay for peace.
You are truly prepared to throw it all away.
Join me, Serenoa. Let us unite Norzelia under the Holy State.
Roland, this is quite sudden.
I understand. Pray, take all the time you need. I expect Frederica will want nothing to do with this plan, seeing as it forsakes her people. I am already mourning the rift this may cause between you. But I shall not be swayed. This will be my final act as Glenbrook's king.
King Roland's anguish plays plainly across his face. It pains me to see him so tortured.
I'm not surprised. The future of our kingdom, to say nothing of the entire continent, rests upon his shoulders.
Pray tell, what do you intend to do about the salt crystals?
In truth, I cannot decide. Salt is too precious to be hoarded. We've a duty to share it with the people, which is...
Where the difficulty lies, yes. The source makes that all too clear. Salt lies at the heart of every war in Norzelia.
Would that the boundless salted sea of Rosellan legend still existed. We'd have no need of conflict if there were a source of salt for all.
My love, if I may, the discovery of the salt crystals has made two things plain to me. The first is that my mother spoke true in the legend she passed on to me.
And the other is that the goddess's teachings are nothing more than a lie built to constrain your people.
Just so, we are guilty of nothing. Yet the Roselle languish in the source, where they are looked down upon and forced to work until they die. Entire generations lost, countless lives given to Hyzant's cruelty. Cruelty created to justify Hyzant's own avarice and lust for power.
Such is the ugly lie at the heart of their teachings.
One revealed by a crystal of the mineral they hold so dear. The time has come, Serenoa. The Roselle must be freed. The salt crystals have brought us to the brink of war. We can harness this unrest, incite the Roselle to rise up and rebel against their captors.
I am with you. Believe me, I am. But you make it sound so...
Simple. Yes, I know. But the suffering of my people is so distant for everyone else. We can no longer wait for someone to do the right thing. Help isn't coming. Why else would my own mother incite rebellion? We are alone.
I swear to you, none of this feels distant to me. The Roselle live in my domain. I am betrothed to you, my dear. Couldn't feel any closer.
And I thank the stars that I have you by my side. I do. In truth, that's why I think this time will be different. Why I'll be able to accomplish what my mother could not.
I agree. But the risk is immense. Suppose we succeed, what then? Hyzant will not let us go quietly.
Of course not.
And When that time comes, you can lead the Roselle to Centralia, just as your mother wrote about in the book she left behind. Beyond the Great Falls in the Folk's Domain at the end of the Norzelia River, the ancestral home of the Roselle.
But that's just a legend.
We've already found one legend to be rooted in truth. Perhaps this one is as well. And if not, at least you'll be safe from harm.
I doubt Benedict will share our feelings, though. Abandoning all we've built to embark on a journey fraught with danger in search of a legend. Yet no matter how perilous the path ahead, I would happily walk it at your side.
They are adorable, dude. I love them so much.
I trust you understand what a monumental effect the discovery of these salt crystals will have on Norzelia's history. Whatever course of action we choose will determine whether House Wolford leaves a legacy in that history, or is expunged from it.
How would you proceed, Benedict?
I would do all I could to keep it from falling into Hyzant's hands. They already control the source. With the crystals in hand, they will solidify their grip on the realm, and in time dominate it. The siren song of a false equality under their goddess shall blanket the land, claiming every domain and its people.
Even though they count me among the Saintly Seven?
Even then, for that matters little when the equality they espouse is dictated by the goddess, or should I say, the Hierophant. In the end, they will have the same life and death control over all Norzelia that they now hold over the Roselle.
And our wounds from the battle with Esfrost have only begun to heal. Hyzant will destroy us if we wage war against them in our current state.
But they stand little chance against us if we ally with Esfrost.
Ally with Esfrost? Are you of sound mind, Benedict?
Quite. Think about it for a moment. Esfrost wants nothing more than to loosen Hyzant's grip. They will go to war if it means control of the salt crystals.
Our interests are broadly aligned, yes, but...
Esfrost has been building toward precisely that purpose for some time now.
You speak of the Death Knell, the weapon that Cordelia mentioned.
Precisely. A weapon capable of reducing the goddess's shield to rubble, leaving Hyzant's capital ripe for the taking. Without that weapon, we cannot win. You need only say the word, and I shall convince Esfrost to join our side.
I appreciate your candor, Benedict, and I do not doubt you could secure Esfrost's cooperation. But I fear the harder fight is within our own domain. King Roland's heart will not be easily won.
I bid you listen closely and calmly to what I'm about to ask.
From whence this somber tone?
Do you believe King Roland is fit to rule?
What are you implying?
Decorum is of little use when the fate of our realm is at stake, Lord Serenoa. Are you content to spend the rest of your life in servitude to another?
Not another word, Benedict. Roland is more than my king. He is my friend.
And you are Lord of House Wolford, whose military prowess is known to all Norzelia. Not the guard dog of Glenbrook and Hyzant. What else are you here to do, if not to protect your house and keep its banner aloft? But you have the potential for so much more. All Norzelia could be yours if you but desired it.
Treason, if not outright regicide. These are your suggestions.
Of course not. The blood in your veins and the royal family's ring are claim enough to the throne. There is no need for violence.
I told you not to speak of that again.
But you did not tell me to forget. The time to reckon with your lineage draws near. You must make a...
I've heard enough. Leave me.
Just know that I will do anything you ask of me, Lord Serenoa. I pray that you make the right choice. Not only for House Wolfort, but for yourself.
Oh boy. Oh jeez. That was an intense conversation. Tense conversations all around. Wait, what did that say? Directly controlled territory? Wolford domain, Telior domain, Crown City, Falk's domain, the Goddess's domain. So they still haven't moved. And they still haven't moved. And now we are ready for the Scales of Conviction. Once again, House Wolfort stands before 3 diverging paths. Oh, another 3 diverging paths. What are you skipping frames for? Piece of shit. The time has come to lay their convictions bare before the scales and make their greatest decision yet. And not only that, but this is where the true ending comes into play. Pretty sure I kept it. Tab open for the true ending. Yep, it's right there. I shall revisit the paths. If griefs could passions move, that was the title. In Chapter 7, in order to get the true ending, you must not use the fire traps placed in the village if you choose to defend Roland. And if you choose to give up Roland, you do not have to worry about it. You're guaranteed a pass, a buy on your path to the true ending. So it doesn't matter what you choose. You just can't use the fire traps if you choose to defend Roland, which is what we did. We defended Roland and did not use the fire traps. Then in Chapter 9, you must help Sorceley in his illegal salt trade, which we did. That is the true path we went on. Then in Chapter 10, we must tell Sivrog of Roland's identity. This is only possible if you helped Sorceley in the trade in Chapter 9, which we did. Then in Chapter 11, you must defend Roselle and find the Roselle key, Pink Rock, which we did. Then in Chapter 15, you must visit Lord Siamen in the Wolfort domain. This means you won't recruit Cordelia, but you will gain Milo as a permanent ally, which we did. These options are available regardless of Serenoa's conviction. After Serenoa says there must be another way, Serenoa will ask himself a few questions. He must answer these questions in this order. Wait, did I mess up the true ending without even realizing it? What question? Wait. Okay, well, let's just go into it and see if he asks these questions. If not, I might have to go back to chapter 15. Off screen? Oh, okay. You're sure you wish to proceed? No. I mean, if you're gonna make me save here, then I'll just save here. Save! So... yeah, that was me accidentally saving over the chapter 15 one. Oh god. I'd have to go so far back, I think. Well, no, because technically I could go back to chapter 13. Any of the 13s. And be good. Because I don't think 13 had an impact on anything. Yeah, I could go back to 13 or 14, because chapter 11 and 15 were the two. So I just can't save over a 13 or 14. If there even is a 14. That's 12, 10, 9, 7. 7. Chapter 3. 15. 13. Part 1. Our time has come. So let's... okay. But we'll just save over Defiance and Despondence. Why not? Whew. Alright, boys and girls. Let's go in. Whoops, that's awkward. We'll just resave over the one we just saved on.
You are certain Hyzan's army marches for the Grand Norzelian mines?
There is no doubt.
They've heard word of the crystals.
It was only a matter of time. We knew this.
Yeah, it was Milo.
Frost's army gathers at Twinsgate as well.
War's breaking out over this thing, and we've got to be ready.
How will Glenbrook respond, King Roland?
There's no need to prepare for war. I have decided that we will surrender the salt crystals to the holy state of Hyzant.
Huh?
What?
Furthermore, I hereby declare that the kingdom of Glenbrook and its people shall submit to the goddess and her teachings. There's
What?
no way to bring happiness to all Norzelia with the salt crystals. Which is why I have chosen a path that will allow the greatest number of people to live in equality and harmony.
How could you? Do you not see that Hyzant's dominion over Norzelia's salt is why we are in conflict already? Is the suffering of the Rosal not proof enough that the goddess's vaunted equality is a lie?
She speaks the truth, my king. Handing over the salt crystals is tantamount to giving Hyzant's goddess free reign of Norzelia. Will you so readily surrender the realm to the Hierophant?
I acknowledge the abdication of my kingdom and kingship alike. A small price to pay in my eyes, in exchange for the security and prosperity of the many.
And the sacrifice of the Roselle, is that a small price to you?
It is.
How could you say such a thing to my face?
I, for one, oppose. I would prefer to ally with Esfrost and strike back at Hyzant. The salt deposits within the mines give us the leverage we need to convince Gustadolf to join us.
Ally with Esfrost? You dare suggest we ally with the man who murdered my father?
I see no reason why we should not. You proposed abdicating the throne for the sake of the kingdom and its people. So you should have no trouble putting aside your own feelings and judging this matter dispassionately.
I cannot believe my own ears. I will not have you lecture me on feelings when it is not your father he murdered.
None of you can see beyond your own grievances. It's no wonder my people have suffered for generations. We're told to believe in the goddess, while our own lives are thrown away to make a few more grains of your precious salt. And now, even with proof that the goddess is a lie, you would watch us dig our own graves for your comfort.
Lady Frederica, please. We shall speak of the Roselle in due time.
No, I've heard that before. Your due time is never, and I will not have you cast us aside for another 3 decades or more. All else is in disarray. If Hyzant seizes the salt crystals, we forfeit the best opportunity in decades to free my people. We know the truth. We must act upon it. We must be a light in the darkness.
Oh, that's such a good line.
We cannot afford to dilute our forces when the enemy marches on us as we speak.
So we are a distraction to you?
I am merely being rational. Liberating the Roselle would be extremely dangerous. We cannot take such a risk. Suppose we succeed. How do you propose we fend off the fury Hyzant will rain down upon us?
Esfrost would pounce on us, sensing weakness at the undue burden we've taken upon ourselves.
Precisely. We would be without allies and ripe for the taking.
There is another way.
And what, pray tell, would that be?
We set out alongside the Roselle in search of Centralia.
Centralia is a myth.
The legends of my people are true.
I care not one whit if they are. I will hear no talk of forsaking the Wolfort domain.
Silence! I have heard enough to know where each of you stand. Do you all hold the courage of your own convictions?
I do.
Nothing I've heard here has swayed me.
I feel the same.
Very well. I would ask for some time to think on the matter.
So when is he supposed to say there must be another way? I heard Frederica say it.
I understand each of you keenly, my friends. You have not arrived at these decisions lightly, and I do not doubt your convictions. Yet choosing any of the options before me risks creating a schism among the others. I cannot afford to lose any of you. Not after how far we've come. Which leaves me only one option.
There it is. The scales will guide us. There must be another way. So if you pick the scales will guide us, you do not get the true ending. If you click there must be another way, you will get the true ending. I am so conflicted right now. We'll click on there must be another way. We'll do the true ending path first, right? Which gives us 2 extra chapters. Or it does give us 2 extra chapters, so we should have plenty of time to save and then go back to the other routes, the scales routes. Is this going to be our first 4-path route? I'm excited. There must be another way.
Nay, I mustn't give in so readily. There must be another way. One that will bind us together, not tear us asunder. Now then, to find it. Certainties first. We cannot afford to relinquish control of the salt crystals to any one nation. Salt necessarily belongs to the people, and on that point I shall not waver. There must be a way to bring about the lasting peace Roland desires without the need for Hyzant's warped teachings.
True.
Hyzant moves to take the Grand Norzelian mines as I contemplate this. It must be stopped. They will no doubt make an ostentatious show of power in an attempt to intimidate us. What's worse, they'll soon be at our door, and we'll not defeat them with our army alone. Surely there's a way we can hold them off.
Okay. So this is where you must answer these questions in this order. So it says starve them out in a war of attrition. Greet them with the Wolfhort Domain wildfire. Wash them away with water from the Norzelia River. So this says you must pick greet them with the Wolfhort Domain's wildfire.
The wildfire, of course. We'll draw them into the village and set the vast majority of their forces alight.
The very thing we didn't use to save the houses,
Hierophant
we
will
must now
never
use.
relent, however. Hyzant will bear down on us with the full force of their army. We've no chance of winning a protracted war. Hyzant must fall, and quickly. We need Esfrost. We need the Death Snow. It is the only way we'll pierce the goddess's shield. I hardly relish the thought of asking Gustadolf to come to our aid. He'll no doubt demand the salt crystals in return. Who might help us get our hands on that weapon?
This has got to be the easiest one. Minister Lila of the Ministry of Medicine, perhaps? Have we no choice but to bend the knee to Gustadolf? Might Lord Svarog be the key? That one's just obvious. It's Svarog. It's like the cookie cutter answer, right? I can kind of see where the wildfire one comes from, because part of the true ending is not using it in chapter 7. So I think that's kind of a hint to pick the wildfire here. And then obviously buttering Svarog up when you're over there in chapter 11 and 10, I think it was. When you do Sorceley's illegal salt trade and then you give Roland's identity to him. It's a clear answer to pick Svarog. I hate his name. I hate his name with a burning passion.
Lord Svarog, yes. He swore to fight alongside us. It's time he made good on his word. We share a common enemy in Gustadolf. He'll be a boon. There is still the matter of how we invade Hyzant and incite the Roselle to rebel.
We can expose the truth hidden within the goddess's statue. Perhaps we could press our case with the people of Hyzant. If we could gain entry to the palace, we can assassinate the Hierophant. Obviously, it's expose the truth hidden within the goddess's statue, because that is the whole thing with Frederica, is getting her mother Orlea's diary is about that. So I think that diary portion of the game, which is the most recent or fresh in our mind, is kind of a clue to pick this.
Yes! We'll blast away the statue and reveal Hyzant's lies for all to see. If the Rosellan legends are true, an enormous pillar of salt rests within the goddess's statue. Revealing that will prove that the Roselle spoke truth all these years. Goddess and Hierophant alike will lose all claim to authority, leaving them open to a revolt from a united Roselle. And now we have the means to make the explosives that will bring Hyzant to its knees. Just one problem remains. How will we manage to pass through the goddess's shield? No banner could pass into Hyzant without arousing suspicion. Unless...
They're of Travis's crew. They're of the Consortium. They're of the Roselle. If they're of the Roselle, they're screwed, man. Travis's crew is the bandits, the brigands. This is the one that confuses me. The Consortium. It says the answer you have to pick is they're of the Consortium. The Consortium. What was the Consortium again? I don't remember what the Consortium was. What is the They're the assholes who run the underground illegal tournaments with that cursed of a death pit arena. So I don't know how you're supposed to come to the... Like, I get how you come to the conclusion of the other three. You don't use the wildfires in Chapter 7, so you think to use them now when it's most desperate. Because if you use them in Chapter 7, you won't have them now. You think of Savrog, obviously, because you've helped him with the illegal salt trade and gave Roland's identity to him in good favor. And then with the hidden truth, whatever, for the goddess's statue, you learn of that from Frederica. Even though you don't go down Frederica's path, you still learn of it, and they still make a heavy point on how important that note is. But the Consortium, I don't understand how you're supposed to come to the Consortium. The Roselle obviously is out of it. There's no way the Roselle would pass here. They're just too lucrative of a thing for Hyzant to want. Travis's crew, it's kind of like the safe bet almost, whereas the Consortium's like a wild card. But it's the Consortium.
Unless they've no banner at all. The Consortium, of course. One glimpse of the salt crystals ought to bring Claris to the table. So long as I play to his self-interest, the rest will follow.
Because he doesn't know what's going on. He knows that a war is brewing, but he doesn't know why. He doesn't know about the salt crystals yet. And he has no banner. So I think that scene in particular, that scene right there, is supposed to be your hint to choose the Consortium in this true ending marathon plague. What do you mean? How is there... That was like 21 minutes ago. Why? So yeah, that scene is supposed to make you pick the Consortium, but for me, I completely forgot that Claris was the Consortium. And about the fact that he was the one that ran the illegal underground tournaments and stuff. I completely forgot about the Consortium. I'm not gonna lie. It's been such a while and they're not talked about enough. Honestly, that might be my biggest complaint with the whole true ending thing, is I think they should have put a little bit more emphasis on the Consortium if they're going to be this key of a factor in the true ending picking.
I have it. I've found a way to give everyone what they want most in one fell swoop. The salt crystals will belong to all, and not just a privileged few. the people of Norzelia will finally be lords and ladies of their own making, masters of their own destinies. Benedict's fervent desire to protect the domain's integrity, Roland's yearning for equity, Frederica's resolve to free her people. I hear you all, my friends. You're not alone. Nor are the countless others who look to me at this late hour. If ever there were a time to heed my father's last words, it is now. I must forge my own path and lead my people. The scales cannot save us this time. The words of my closest confidants have revealed a way forward that the scales never could. All that remains is to convince them to follow me down the path I have made. As Lord of House Wolford, I solemnly swear an oath by which all future lords shall be bound.
Ooh, I liked how the scales were like swaying during that conversation. It's a nice touch.
I will never turn my back on the promise of a better world.
Ooh, that's so good. That's so good. If griefs could passions move. Yes. Not there. Oh, number one, baby.
Thus did Serenoa ascertain the Scale's true purpose. Taking up the mantle of his late father, Lord Simone, and the ill-fated Dragan, Serenoa returns to present his allies with a bold new vision for Norzelia's future.
Chapter 17, Part 2. Those of Aspirations.
I have made up my mind. We turn the salt crystals over to no one, but we do not keep them for ourselves. Instead, we distribute them equally to every person across Norzelia and change the face of the continent.
Do you hear yourself?
Do you mean this sincerely, Serenoa?
What of the Roselle?
I speak my conscience, and I promise I have not forgotten the Roselle. Pray, grant me the time to explain my strategy. We must put an end to the teachings if we are to release the salt to all Norzelians. Which is to say, the holy state of Hyzant must fall.
So we are to take up Benedict's proposal?
No. I propose we attack on 3 separate fronts.
At the same time?
We will use our domain's wildfire to prevent Hyzant from capturing the mines. Meanwhile, I wish to negotiate an accord with Esfrost that affords us use of the Death Snell. I know full well the risks involved. However, I believe we can convince Svarog, who opposes the Archduke, that an alliance is worthwhile. Finally, we expose the falsehoods that prop up Hyzant's precious teachings and incite another Rosellan uprising. In one fell swoop, we can abase the Hierophant and throw the capital into chaos. That accomplished, we shall sack the Holy State with Esfrost at our side. With both the source and the crystals in our possession, no one in Norzelia will ever want for salt. We can bring peace, equity, and stability to all Norzelia, just as Roland envisioned. We can restore the Wolfort name to its former glory and usher it into a new era, as Benedict desires. An era, my dear Frederica, in which the Roselle shall be free once and for all. What I ask may sound impossible, but we have survived long odds before. Let us cling together and do so once again. Do any present have objections to the path I have set before us?
None for me, lad. You've quickened the very blood in my veins.
Permit me to speak plainly, Your Majesty. I am in agreement with Lord Serenoa.
We cannot dream our desires into reality. Some things must be fought for and won.
We've tried your way, Benedict. It's time we tried something new.
What say you three?
I am ashamed to admit that my obsession with the domain's safety may have blinded me to more aggressive solutions. Your plan is audacious, perhaps even reckless, but it is not impossible, and may well be worth the risk. House Wolford is better for having you at its helm, Lord Serenoa.
The fate of my people always felt so small compared to the war raging around us. Yet you would still choose to walk a dangerous path, rather than cast the Roselle aside. It would be my honor to fight alongside you, and see this through.
I honestly thought Hyzanth would rule better than I could. That they would bring prosperity to Norzelia. I shrank from my duties and lost myself to the idea of revenge upon Gustadolf. I may well have betrayed my own kingdom. But you, Serenoa, opened my eyes to the truth. And for you, my friend, as King of Glenbrook, I shall face any enemy and lead our people to glory.
Then we've no need of the scales. Our path is decided. From here on out, we shall split into 3 regiments. Allow me to explain the role each has to play. I pray that clarifies what each regiment needs to do. Prolonging the war risks slowly driving the 3 kingdoms to ruin and starving their people in the process. Not to mention, all involved will lose sight of what they were fighting for if they haven't already.
Agreed. 'Tis for the good of all if we bring it to a swift and decisive end.
And so we find ourselves contemplating war on 3 fronts.
Hyzanth and Esfrost aren't expecting such drastic action from us. The element of surprise may deliver us victory.
As will the leader of each regiment involved in this gambit.
I shall lure the Hyzantian army to their doom here at Castle Wolford.
Svarog knows who I am, and swore he would fight alongside me. I shall depart for Esfrost and hold him to his word.
Pray, let me be the one to journey to Hyzanth. I would love nothing more than to expose their false idol for all to see, and lead my people to rebel in the name of freedom.
Then I shall secure the help of Claris of the Consortium in exchange for information about the salt crystals. We can secret you inside the capital and provide you with explosives enough to fell the goddess. Though we fight on distant fronts, we are bound together in spirit. We fight to the last for Norzelia!
For Norzelia!
That music ended abruptly. Also, am I fucked? Do I have to have 3 teams of 10? General Avlora.
No, it can't be. General Avlora? Of the Esfrosti army?
I knew she wasn't dead. They didn't show a body.
I come to you now as a citizen of Norzelia. Nothing more. I come to House Wolford in search of sanctuary. I beg you, have the mercy to take me in.
Wait here.
General Avlora, we thought you missing.
Indeed, it was your actions that caused my brief disappearance, though I bear no grudge for how the battle ended. This time, however, I come to you with a humble request. I wish to join your ranks, if you'll have me.
You wish to defect? To what end?
that we may bring this fraught and fractious chapter of Norzelia's history to a close. I would see those of Lady Cordelia's generation preside over an era of peace and tranquility. You've every right to doubt me when I say Lady Cordelia has touched me. But I swore to be her sword forevermore, not Esfrost's.
We have long been enemies. You've taken much from us in Esfrost's name. I know you to be many things, General of Laura, but a schemer and a liar are not among them. I trust that you speak true, and your talk of a swift end to this conflict appeals to me. We are of the same mind.
My lord.
Nevertheless, there remains bad blood between us. There may be some within our ranks who are less than pleased to see you.
Like how they all looked at Roland.
I expect there will be. I understand their hurt, and have made my peace with it. I will suffer their slings and arrows gladly, if it means bringing peace to Norzelia.
I admire your conviction. In truth, we have already arrived at our decision. Your strength is a boon we can neither hope to replicate nor replace. I welcome you, General of Laura, to House Wolfort.
My sword is yours, Lord Serenor.
This would have been so much better if, you know, we had Cordelia in our party, but we can't have Cordelia in our party for the true ending. So freaking stupid. A fierce fighter willing to risk even her own life. Stats increase when her HP is low. Boasts an incredibly powerful attack, though it is not without danger. What does it hurt her? She hurt herself in battle or something? She never hurt herself in battle against me.
Now, Serenoa, let us divide House Wolfort into 3 regiments.
That's the part I was fearing.
I leave the allocation of forces in your capable hands.
I hate this.
Choose wisely. Once the plan is in motion, we won't have the luxury of adjusting our strategy.
I know, and I hate this.
Understood.
I don't have 30 people ready to fight. You've got to be kidding me. All units will be divided into 3 regiments. Each regiment will fight its own separate battle. Ugh, Benedict's so freaking weak. Frederica and Roland are so good. Maxwell, Anna, Crittengens, Narv's weak. Laura, Lionel. Oh wow, they gave Frederica. Okay. You know, Milo, Gila, Huet, Groma. So that leaves her with 3 really weak people. This leaves Benedict's group with 2 really weak people. And you with one really weak person. And Narv. So he is going to Savrog. He is staying here in the Wolfort domain. And Frederica is going to Hyzant. Hasabera is a healer. And so is Medina. They don't need to be over here. Let's swap you and bring Medina over here. Now, we also don't need Hasabera over here because she is a healer. Also, I don't like you being there. Let's put you up here. Put you right there. Put you right there. Let's put Groma right here. Okay, Lionel can come to the back because he's not really good. Let's do that. So the really weak people are in the back. This just leaves Narv and Medina in the back. No. So there's 3 really strong people over here. Or 2 really strong. Oh no, 3. Yeah, I keep forgetting about Roland. Then you have Corentin. The 2 guys who are kind of there. But Julio doesn't need to be over here. Wolfort's is stacked right now. I need to bring somebody from Wolfort over here. Yeah, let's bring Archibald over here. Because why not? I want to swap Julio. Like, I don't care if Jens is in this group, honestly. Narv and Medina are just gonna be screwed wherever they go. Same thing with Lionel and Hasabar, especially Hasabar. Dude, I have been neglecting these guys so bad. Piccolita for a reason. She's just not that great. She's really hard to use effectively. But I kind of like her regiment. I might put Anna over here because she'd be with him. I just don't know where to put Serenoa. That's the thing. Let's... do not want that. I don't have Decimal or Rudolph. Okay. So I'll show you what they're suggesting as best I can. So, in Benedict's party, they're suggesting you have Serenoa, Iridor, Rudolph, who we don't have, Corentin, Hasabera, Lionel, and Piccolita, which would severely handicap them. I'm just gonna bring them over here for a second. And for Frederica's party, they're suggesting Avlora, Narv, Azana, Archibald, our good pal Julio, Medina, Groma, who's already there, and Maxwell. Technically, there also suggest Giovanni, but I don't have Giovanni. And for Roland, they're suggesting you have Hewitt, Flanagan, Anna, Gila, Yin, and Milo, and Quahog. But again, I don't have Quahog. I don't have Quahog or Giovanna, which would make Roland's party safe. This would leave Serenoa's party so weak. Frederica's would be relatively safe, even with Narv. So this is just what this guide tells you to do. And again, like I said, with Roland, it also wants you to have Quahog, which I don't have. But this says, use Hewitt and Flanagan to easily traverse the map. The Hawk Riders, Hewitt and Flanagan, can easily access elevated areas of the map. Use Hewitt for offense and Flanagan to tank enemy attacks. Use Yin's ladders and traps. Yin is vital to this map, as you can set up ladders to easily climb and descend cliffs. And then, like I said, with Frederica, it also wants Giovanni on her squad, which I do not have. But it wants Julio to supply TP. Since they will be spamming their lightning spells to electrocute enemies standing on water tiles on the map, you can keep replenishing your mage TP with Julio's ability. Take advantage of Medina's versatility. You can use Medina in this battle by either healing, removing status conditions inflicted on your parties, or by using Thunderstones. Okay, and pass through enemies with Groma. The pathways in the source are narrow and movements might be difficult. Take advantage of Groma's skill to pass through enemy units and attack them from behind. And once you... For Benedict's path, it wants you to lure enemies into fire traps. Since you can use the fire traps found in this level to set the area ablaze and damage any units, you can use your units' abilities to lure or reroute enemies into fire. Use Piccoleta's decoy to lure enemies into the fire while you take them out from afar. Cut enemy paths with traps and icy walls. You can force enemies to use range, ice walls, which is why they want Rudolph in this one. But I don't have Rudolph because I didn't choose him. So I don't know how you're supposed to get Rudolph before this. That makes no sense. So there's two people in this little map that they suggest you use that I do not have. I don't have Rudolph or Decimal. Well then. So what I'm going to do is I am fine with her having all of this and this being here, I guess. I think Roland's might be good. What I also think is that this squad's a little fucked. I need to bring Maxwell or Avlora over here. I just don't know which one to do. Because they're so... This squad right here is so underleveled. I have 3 people right here who are underleveled. Like, if I would have known I would have had to have used these people, I would have grinded them up a bit to at least like 20. I don't even know their abilities. Because this one you need to lure and like reroute. Ah, gosh, this is so hard. So I'm gonna have you two come up here just because I guess we'll send Avlora over here because I need the manpower for sure. Like, hers is stacked. Everybody over here is a decent level except for Narva Medina. Y'all are screwed. And Roland's is fine. Like, all of his people are caught up except for it finally died on me. I've been waiting for it. I'm surprised. Like, it's been blinking red for like 2 gaming sessions now. Come on. The battery did not want to come out. Alright. It's so weird that it just like automatically... I wonder if that's the drift on the controller. I think this is what we're gonna have to do because you're all so weak. You have 4 under-leveled people. 4 under-leveled people and 4 up to par people. Like, at least all the people up here are like 27, 28. Except for Quentin, who's 24, which is fine. Same thing with you. You're all like within range to a 26, 27, a 23, 24, and a 20, and a 27. You just have 2 level 12s. You're a disgrace, Benedict. Roland's team is the most stacked. 26, 27, 27, 22, 27, 20, 27. Like, so stacked. You're good. So yeah, I think this is what we're gonna stick with. Benedict's is gonna be the roughest, for sure. I know. I accept my fate. Hopefully, I can save. Not necessarily save, but, you know, go into encampment. I don't think I can. Catch an army.
Hyzant raises their army on the presumption they can seize the Grand Norzelian mines for themselves. The Hierophant has ordered them to destroy House Wolford as well. We, however, will not yield. The salt crystals are ours, and we will defend them with our lives. Hyzant shall bend the knee at the tip of our blades. Their army may have the advantage of numbers, but even that will mean naught against our wildfire traps. The Hyzantian army blindly obeys the Hierophant. But the Hierophant has no power here. We choose our own path, and we have the courage of our convictions. This battle is but the first step on the path Lord Serenoa has laid before us. Let us take this first step together and rejoice. For Norzelia, now and forever.
Twin's Gate is sealed. Gustadolf hardens his defenses at the encampment within. We will approach the gate and request an audience. We may yet find common ground with Esfrost. The Duchy wields the Death Snell, a weapon capable of reducing the goddess's shield surrounding Hyzant to rubble. We need that weapon if we are to break the Holy State's stranglehold on Salt, and thus Norzelia. I know this may feel a betrayal to some of you. Esfrost invaded us. They are the enemy. They murdered my father and brother. And I will never forget nor forgive them for it. But I believe if Father were still here, he would see that I go to Esfrost for the right reasons. That I ask them for aid so that we may thrive. For above all, a king's duty is to his people. And I would sooner cast out the shadows of the past by building a brighter future than lament our lot in life. I ask for your aid in building that bright future. Let us walk the path set before us by Serenoa, and lead Norzelia into a new era of peace and prosperity unlike any we've known.
To the plan. We shall slip into the capital of the Holy State, disguised as a band of merchants from the Norzelia Consortium. Lord Claris has taken on no small amount of risk in agreeing to help us gain entry. We are truly in your debt, Lord Claris.
I stand to gain more from a liberated Norzelia, where Hyzant no longer dictates the terms of trade and commerce. In short, spare no extra thoughts for me. This is as much a business consideration as it is helping those in need.
As he says, this is for the future of Norzelia. We now endeavor to destroy the goddess's likeness that serves as a pillar of their teachings. If the Rosellan legends are true, we will find that the statue concealed a massive pillar of salt that was stolen from my people. This salt pillar is incontrovertible proof that the teachings and the goddess around which they are built are lies. The faithful will be shaken to their core, and the Hierophant's power will wane. With luck, we may even show the Roselle they were without fault, inciting them to rise once more and cast off the yoke of their oppressors. This is nothing less than a battle to wrest control of Norzelia from the clutches of a capricious and vengeful goddess. Have you prepared the explosives, Lord Claris?
Prepared and loaded onto a cart, my lady. Enough to bring the goddess back to Earth, I should think.
Excellent. Then let us depart.
You are a marvel, Lady Frederica. A Rosellan with Esfrosti blood, fighting under House Wolford's banner. Who better than you to challenge Hyzant's tyranny? Do you not feel the weight of destiny upon you?
This is not destiny, Lord Claris. Nothing could be less certain than the moment in which we find ourselves. Serenoa and I have traveled a long, hard road together. It brought us here, but it does not end here. And so we walk on.
Now you seek to fell the goddess. You are possessed of an iron will, if you'll forgive the expression.
I shall take that as a compliment. Watch over us, Mother.
those of aspiration completed. Well then, wasn't that something? We found out how extraordinarily under-leveled 10 of our people are. At least I think it was 10. I'm pulling 10 out of my ass here. Just saying. I have 2 in Frederica's, 4 in Benedict's, and I think 1. So 7. There's 7 people that are severely under-leveled. And then you have a couple that aren't quite as leveled, like Jens and Jens and Julia, who are level 20. But at least they're level 20 and not level 12 and 8 and 7 and 11. Benedict was 11. Jeez, I really hope I get a chance to encampment before those 3 regiments come to strike. I'll find out off screen and then do that grinding off screen. I hope you have a great day. Remember, only you can be the best you can possibly be. If you liked the video, give it a like, comment, that'd be super special, awesome. Subscribe if you haven't, that'd really help me out. And ta-ta for now.